When you finished your treatment, you then got put on that 5 years of tamoxifen.
Right.
Which now is it 5 years? Is it 10 years?
10 years in some cases.
Because they've always said if you
Right.
make it to that 5-year mark, boom,
Right.
boom,
Right.
you made it.
Right.
So
This is
you
a bit of
did-
a fallacy. I'm sorry to share with everyone. but-
Right. So you made it to the 5-year,
Right.
and then you heard that the evidence was if you did 10 years, your risk of recurrence went down.
Right.
So you went on with it.
I did, because I took any opportunity to lower my numbers, even if it was a percentage. This is something new. Maybe vitamin D helps, maybe it doesn't. I'm like, I can take vitamin D. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't help, it doesn't help, but I'll take it. So anything they offered, I was happy to take. And so I did. I said, I can stay on tamoxifen. The side effects aren't that bad, and I can stay on it. So I had been on it for about 7.5 years when,
All of a sudden, surprise, at 44,
yes,
baby on the way.
baby on the way.
And was that like a complete shock to you?
Complete shock. A 44-year-old woman, if I have my statistics correctly, has about a 1% chance of conceiving naturally with her own eggs. And that's not a person who's been through chemotherapy and tamoxifen and everything that I've asked my body to go through. So it's kind of an amazing feat for this old body to...
Because chemotherapy, by virtue of how it's made, goes to attack rapidly growing cells, and it attacks the ovaries. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the impact was on my ovaries, but it shut everything down for a while. So it's chemically induced menopause. So I already had the hot flashes. I stopped having my periods for a while. They came back, but they were very sporadic. I mean, I was premenopausal. I mean, I was still, the hot flashes.
or at least you thought you were.
Yeah, exactly. But as Dr. Ann will tell you, sometimes you can have a going out of business sale with your eggs. They can decide they have one last thing. I like to give my husband credit. I like to say he's a younger man and he had really strong sperm to that really works. So whatever it was.
No, so when you went to that doctor's appointment, who was with you?
So I started to suspect that I was pregnant, those usual signs that anyone who's blessed enough to have children know, that it started to feel like, this doesn't feel right. Started to have some symptoms of pregnancy. And again, once again, over the holidays. So it gets to January and I can't ignore them anymore. I had to get through Christmas. And so I took a pregnancy test at home. And that's when I emailed Dr. Ann here at Dana-Farber, and I said, when you get a chance today, I need to talk to you, because my first thing, I had a million concerns, but I was worried about tamoxifen exposure to the baby. I was worried about cancer coming back in me. I was worried about the usual things 44-year-old mothers worry about, that I'd have a child with Down syndrome or other issues related to my age. Lots of worries. So Anne called me back at 6:45 that morning. I couldn't even understand her because she had morning voice. I said, we can talk later, but that's how great she is. She's my friend, and she called right back, and she said, people can have babies post-cancer. It's okay. And I said, are you sure? So what about the tamoxifen? So we went through all the possible side effects.
And it had been about 9 weeks or so at that point?
Yep. And so we
went off of it
right
away?
Immediately, once I knew.
Okay.
But there was a lot of exposure, much more so than you'd want. Obviously, you wouldn't want any exposure to tamoxifen for a fetus. So that
we should just point it out, because there can be birth defects, there can be other long-term effects, I guess maybe risk for cancer later in life for the offspring, things that...
They say it's like a DES baby, which you'll remember
from the old days,
from the old days, where the mothers were taking this to prevent miscarriage and other things.
Right.
They thought it was a helpful drug. Turned out later that it could cause gynecological cancers in their baby girls later down the road. So it was obviously a big thing for that generation, and now I'm thinking about it. So I met with a maternal fetal specialist. I met with Dr. Ann Partridge here at Dana-Farber. Started to just do the same thing, where you're gathering information and you're trying to find out, are the risks outweighing the benefits, which is a human life, not a small benefit. I mean, you're talking about a baby's life. And at 9.5 weeks, that day we went in to get an ultrasound. You can see a lot now at 9.5 weeks. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's a little baby. The heartbeat was there. I mean, I felt like anytime I wanted to have a baby, you were hoping to find a heartbeat. They keep moving that thing around your belly. This was instant. This little girl was instantly moving, and heartbeat at 9.5 weeks. And they take your blood, and they can tell you from a blood test now that early that the risk of Down syndrome is very low. They can tell you the gender. All these things I didn't know because I haven't had a baby in 10 years. So I did all my research, and the risks are there. but they weren't high enough to me or to the baby. There's no hard evidence that having a baby is going to make my cancer come back, because I would have to seriously consider that.
Yeah.
I have 2 other children.
Absolutely.
So I would, that was, if they told me there was a 60, 70, 80% chance your cancer will come back,
Right.
I would have to have some serious, it's a serious consideration. One life, another life, but that wasn't what they told me. They told me that the risk was relatively low.
So you're off the tamoxifen, you're due in August.
August.
And then you'll breastfeed, and after nursing, that's when you can go back on tamoxifen.
I think I'll go back on the tamoxifen.
Just for
Yes.
whatever added benefit. Once
Yes.
again, like give ourselves the best shot at
Absolutely
lowering that risk.
I would
of
do
recurrence.
anything. I mean, if they told me to shut down the ovaries, that would,
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing is that that's not really going to do good at this point. So,
Your girls now are 8 and 10?
yeah.
8 and 10? Do they have a sensibility of what you went through, of the public journey that you were on, and what you're doing now to actively give back and help other women?
I hope so. I mean, I think that, we try to teach our kids to be resilient, to face challenges head on. I think they're aware of everything that goes through. I try not to scare them too much. I was petrified when I found out I was pregnant, because I was afraid for my health and for the baby's health. I didn't want to let them into that too much.
Yeah.
And my oldest, it's hard to hide from them. She knew we were worried. She knew immediately we weren't jumping up and down with excitement, that we had real concerns. So we shared a little bit with her, but not too much. And I think in terms of learning from mom, my example has been, you give back in whatever way you can give back. I've tried to show them that. I try to teach them that every day. When they don't want to do certain things, why do I have to do that? Well, this is our role. This is what we do.
And you're certainly teaching by being a good role model.
You try to do that, and that you face challenges. And I think overall, you learn life is not this clear path. And I laugh because some of my friends like to tell me about their 5-year plans and their 10-year plans. We don't work that way at my house. We don't have any big plans like that, because our life experience has taught us this life is what happens when you're busy making plans. So our life path keeps changing, and we try to adapt to that. And I think that's a good lesson for kids. They may not get in the college they want to get in. They may have their heart broken many times. Things happen, and they may face a health crisis one or more times in their lives.
And sometimes the most challenging moments of our lives can be the most inspiring moments. I mean, it turned out you wrote a book, which is something that I think you said you always wanted to do. What's the name of it?
It's You Can Do This, How to Survive Breast Cancer Without Losing Your Sanity or Your Style. So it's about being you when life hands you one of the most, challenging situations you can imagine.
A cathartic experience doing the book, and
It
of
was.
course also to help other people, but
It was, and I think the message was always, you're still you.
yeah.
You're not some stereotypical person. You're you, and you may lose your hair, and you may lose a part of your body, or several. Things may get jumbled around. But at the core of it, it's okay to be you, to work if you want to work, to take care of your children, to wake up every day, and to be positive. And as they say, wear lipstick, to your mastectomy. Whatever it is that makes you you, that's not gone. I mean,
Did it change you? They always say you come in one person, you go out another. And when I look at all the things that you're involved with raising funds for BCRF, and with the Young Women's Association here, and all the blogs, it seems like it changed you, and you are now just out there to help other women through that journey that we know so well.
we as women have a lot more energy than I think we can even imagine sometimes. And how do you want to use that?
Yeah.
And for some people, it's making their school a better place. For other people, making their community a better place through beautification, whether it's gardening. There's so many talents people have, and I think we all have to use them in the way that we see fit. So for me, I don't garden or cook or do any of those things, okay? And I may not be the best member of the PTO, but I have a forum here, and I try to use it in a positive way, give people hope, explain that, cures are possible. Herceptin saved my life. And I have met families whose daughters, sisters, loved ones didn't have access to this drug. Their stories did not have a happy ending. So it's not throwing money away. It's providing money to research to come up with targeted therapies that save lives. I mean, I know it because I had it.
It saved our lives.
Right. So it's important. So it's not a trivial part of my life. It's a major part of my life. It's an unexpected one, but it's important.
Kind of like the baby. But congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Another
And
mission
good-
in my life.
Absolutely.
Are you available for babysitting? I give you some
Okay,
experience.
I can give you a day or two.
Okay,
Absolutely.
good.
And we'll chit-chat.
I'll give you a call at 3 a.m. come September.
All right. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you.